All right, well, we have our next series, and fun fact, we are currently mid-series. Unfortunately, we don't have Game Heart because we kind of just rushed into this, but we are tied up 1-1.
Ooh la la. Okay, guys, representing in the top right corner, representing at the same time the Unidos por el Vicio. He is, and I know for a fact that he's from Peru. He is the Protoss player, one of the best Protoss players that Peru has ever had. XionS.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Beckett Industries LE. This man is not Peruvian, he is not Peruano, he's representing Team T-Sop Gaming, Team Sopapillas, if you will. The Mexican Terran, it is RoRrO.
T-Sop is a clan from Chile.
See?
I was very surprised. Yeah, I was very surprised that RoRrO joined the team. He's making the name go up. You know, T-Sop right now has not been able to be so active on competitive gaming. But since he joined the clan, and now things are starting to go good for T-Sop. So he's representing very well. RoRrO was like 5.5k, so he's a very respectable player in the community. And I'm going to see now what's his strategy. You know, he's playing against one of the best Protoss players in Peru, so I'm pretty sure he's got a good strategy to show in this series.
Oh yeah, not just strategy, mate, I don't know how this made it through the videos. We're on Beckett Industries. Like, this may be the first and only time we cast the game on Beckett Industries the entire tournament. It's just, we typically don't see it.
And I'm here, you know, it's no coincidence. I'm so happy, I'm feeling special right now.
Oh god.
Now, but jokes aside, RoRrO right now is taking the factory. He's doing a very aggressive strategy, probably going to be, we don't mind drops with, oh wait a second.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What? He's just sending Marines from across the map.
He's reactoring Marines, mate. He's not going for the swap.
What? Oh my god, he's doing a tech lab. Perhaps we're going to see Thors or tanks. I don't know. I'm so confused.
He could go for just a switch, right, and make Banshees. Well, we'll see. We'll see. What's important is that XionS hasn't seen the bunker. By the way, finally the next is finished, but he still doesn't see it. It's out of range.
Oh, wait a second. I can make another bunker. Bunker can have range. Insane. I don't know. I've never seen this before. This is completely new to me, and I want to see what happens. The Marines right now.
This is the beauty of Beckett Industries, mate. Again, it's just it's just nonsense right now, mate. So far, the Marines are doing a decent job. They're trying to focus on the cannon, and they do force the cancel.
Yeah, it's buying time so that RoRrO can make as much damage as he can. Right now, the most probable choice will be from XionS to make another pylon, because otherwise the cannon and battery shield's gonna be killed. Oh my god! No!
The pylon goes down. There's one backup pylon behind this, but I don't think it's in range of the cannons either. There we go. Another pylon gets thrown down. Marines are going ham, and behind this, he's making a tank.
And he's also making a medevac. It would have been awesome to see a Liberator out of this, you know? It could have been more aggressive and more entertaining, but I think he wants to get the Marines and get them into the main. He's focusing down the SCVs, which is a very nice move from XionS, but now the tank comes in, and perhaps he's gonna lose it? Oh my god, he lost the first tank. That's such an important unit for the Terran player.
Yeah, exactly. The tank only got one Stalker before it went down. Nice target fire there by XionS, but unfortunately, RoRrO did leave his tank exposed.
Yeah, and this is why I think I don't ever see this build. because the Marines have to walk across the map. So you give a lot of time for the Protoss to get that robotics bay, and instead of making observers, you go instantly into Immortals. And because you have the battery overcharge, you can defend this so easily
Oh,
as
oh,
long as
oh.
you get the heavy units. But
Oh.
oh my god,
Mate.
Science just made a mistake.
Mate, all
What?
the immortals go down. Overcharge was already used. There's only one immortal left. Can RoRrO do this? Can he do it?
He's got cannons, so he's still defending very well. As long as he doesn't lose that immortal, he's gonna be fine. Now I see another tank on the way, and this is starting to get tricky. This is starting to get very tricky.
It is, and mate, RoRrO, he was listening to the stream. A Liberator is on the way as well, because why the hell not? Okay.
Okay, so now RoRrO is positioning the tank in a very good spot. He could have done that earlier. Like I felt the tank was so
The first tank.
exposed, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, the first tank was so exposed, and he lost it instantly. That now he's gonna try to push once again on the high ground, but there are two immortals already. And oh no, he just lost the other tank. This is starting to get more and more difficult for RoRrO, and he does not want to give up yet. He's making the expansion behind this, and he's keeping the production, you know, which is very interesting too.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I'm sure he feels forced to do this, right? Like, I just wish I was living in a world where that first tank wasn't exposed, right? Because there was so much potential there, and RoRrO was he was doing a lot with very little. But unfortunately, things didn't really go his way. Meanwhile, Liberator gets into the main. We'll get a couple of probe kills, a little bit of lost mining time.
Yeah, it's always nice to do a little economical damage. You also force the Protoss to make mistakes. As you can see, Science was trying to make more probes. He's trying to saturate all the minerals, and he stopped the gas mining. You see, because of this mistake. I mean, because of the RoRrO's action. So these little things can always help, but they are not a killer move. You know, Science still has a huge advantage, and RoRrO needs to do something about his third base, because otherwise the Protoss is gonna get out of control.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just afraid that he won't be able to. Like, he has this drop here, and that's great. But the problem is that, again, the tech lab's just finished up, right? I'm sure he's going to be working on stim. He's going to be working on combat shields. I don't know if he's going to really want to move out without them. And because they're only just now starting, that's going to give a lot of time to XionS to get this third up and to get shield batteries and to get defenses.
Yeah, it's on minute 10 perhaps we're gonna see the push, or minute 9, and at that moment Science will have so many gates. As you can see, he's not going for the Colossi tech, he's going instead for a lot of gateway units, and this is because he knows that he needs to have a lot of units in order to defend a lot of positions at the same time. So Science is being very smart about this, and he knows that he cannot give any chance to RoRrO, because otherwise he's gonna take it.
Exactly. So there's a lot of pressure on RoRrO right now. I mean, to be fair, mate, there's a lot of tanks, and there's a Raven as well. Like, the push is still going to be very strong. We just see the drop comes into the natural base, gonna distract the army a little bit, but it does get shut down.
The third base now is started to be used, and although there's a lot of tanks, the units that are there in order to make the tanks go more efficient are very weak. There's no medivacs, the Marines are with no combat shields, Team Pack is still on the way, there's no concussive shells, I think, for the Marauders. So, oh my god, this army has a lot of potential, but needs time.
Yeah.
And Science, he wants to go for the kill. He's not taking more gases, he's only playing with 2 gases. So it means he wants to spam those beautiful units that Protoss love, the Zealots, the 8-click Zealots.
True, but
oh my god,
yeah, I was about to say, I don't think this is the best move here. Oh my god, nice macro there by RoRrO. He keeps one of both tanks alive.
Yeah, and I don't know if he sees the Observer. He sent a couple of Marines, but at least the Marines will see that there's a lot of Zealots outside the second base. The Raven is doing a good job at harassing, but I think he needed to save the energy for a push, because he's playing only on 2 bases.
Yeah.
He's about to get to third base. I think he assumes that if he wants to play this game, he doesn't want to be aggressive. He wants to just play from behind.
It's a shame. Like, imagine if he pushed out with an anti-armor missile with this Raven, right? And he would have hit everything. It's like so many of those zealots just would have been evaporated, and then there would have been such a big opportunity there for RoRrO. He still does, by the way, but as we see, he's expanding instead. He's being a little bit more defensive.
And this is what happened with the series with White Hydra and Everness, the Observer. It's such an important observer. Now we see the engagement. The Zealots are coming in with the biggest I click I've seen in my life. There are not many tanks supporting the third base, so he's gonna lose all those important units. And although RoRrO is still in this game, he lost many important units. It's like losing Colossus for the Protoss, you know? You cannot lose them.
Yeah, he lost 3 tanks there at his third base. That was disastrous, right? Like, otherwise he would have 7. And then if he did move out, that would have been insane. Like, he has +1, he has Stim, he has combat shields. It's not ideal, but he could have maybe made something happen, especially because at the moment there's no splash damage. But instead, the tanks, they did go down, and RoRrO is stuck here at home.
Yeah, but let's see if there's anything positive for the Terran. He's alive. That's the first thing. He's still in this game.
Yeah.
The second thing, he's got a third base. He's got the mules up and running. There are not many difference between worker account. As you can see, Terran can always be a little bit behind on worker account because they got mules. And this is giving RoRrO a chance to perhaps get a good army supply and fight, even fight, you know. XionS is not taking the fourth base yet, and this is starting to worry me a little bit, because if he's not going to all in, he needs to start macroing up for a fourth base, otherwise RoRrO will get up in supply.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for it too as well. Like XionS, he has the probe here. It's waiting. He just doesn't have the minerals, not quite yet, because instead he throws down a Dark Shrine because he's Protoss. Why not, right? Oh god. So yeah, we'll see how XionS does with this. I mean, I still imagine we're eventually going to see a fourth base at some point. Meanwhile, RoRrO, he's finally pushing out across the map.
Yeah, he's trying to take map control, and it's a risky move because, as you can see, if a Protoss is at 3 bases, he clearly wants to attack. So you need all the units to defend the attack, otherwise you're gonna die. In this case, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna delay the fourth, he's gonna kill a couple pylons, he's gonna take control of the map, and XionS is giving RoRrO the opportunity to get back into the game, and I'm very afraid of this decision.
Yeah, definitely, because as you were saying, once again, like there's still uneven bases, right? Like he still doesn't take that third, and now XionS, he's a little bit further in the dark. All the pylons have been taken down, so if RoRrO does decide to go for another drop, or he is more active on the map, it's going to be a little bit harder for XionS to keep an eye on things. Meanwhile, okay, why not? We have Blink for the DTs on the way as well. Oh my.
La la, in all the 3 bases. This is the NA Protoss that I wanted to see. Oh my god. There's always something bizarre about NA Protoss players. They always do something tricky, or something that's weird, that shouldn't be there, but it works, you know? That's the special things that happen only in NA. You don't see this in Europe with the Koreans. It's just here, you know. It's a privilege.
Exactly, it's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful. What I will say is that RoRrO, mate, he's ready for it. Look, we got missile turrets here at the third base. We got missile turrets at the natural as well. Like DTs are not gonna get in anytime soon. But with Blink, you know, maybe they can sneak into the main and then finally deal some damage when the army moves out.
And finally, XionS taking the fourth base. But look, RoRrO already has a fourth base.
Mate.
That's going to be a planetary fortress. The DT is going on its way. It's gonna be killed instantly. The sensor tower detects the army movement, and he's gonna try to snipe this fourth base. RoRrO needs to do something about it, otherwise he's gonna be a little more behind than he was before. Oh my god, no! XionS with a perfect move. He delays the Terran fourth base. He's gonna let it burn.
Wait, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn down. No, it does go down, but at the same time,
oh my god.
RoRrO, he does go for a massive drop in the main base, so it pulls the entire army of XionS all the way back home. The disruptor shot. Oh god.
Oh no, what a good disruptor shot. Well, there was a lot of units killed, but there's a lot of army supply there, so he can still perhaps delay the fourth base if Science decides to go aggressive again. And this is very intense right now. This is very intense, and Science is still not using the fourth base. It's starting to stress me out. Why are you not using the fourth base?
It only just now finished up. Finally, the army's in position as well to help protect it. What I will say as well for RoRrO, even though he lost his fourth and it burned down, he had a fifth on the way, which was amazing to me. And so he just lands it and takes it as his fourth, because why not? It was still a big loss, but you know, he does still expand. Meanwhile, here we go, Xion's, he's back again across the map. This time, the tanks are in position. They are sieged up alongside the Liberators.
Yeah, and I love the command center positioning. I love this harassment because he knows that Science is moving his entire army with a F2 move, classical Protoss player. So he knows that he can do counterattack. He just delayed a lot of mining time on the fourth base, and because the Nexus now has so low health, he can snipe at any time he wants.
Oh yeah, he can come back, right? He also took down the shield batteries that were here as well. Meanwhile, that fifth base is now up and running. We have a sixth on the way, fourth. We have a fifth and a sixth on the way as well, because why the hell not? Oh, it's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is the most tricky thing. Science has a very good army, you know, he can kill RoRrO if he makes the right moves, but oh my god, this is not the right move! What is going on? The Zealots are very... they had a suicidal mission, and RoRrO just took the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. They just went deep into the Terran base. The Zealots, they were no long for this world. Meanwhile, this drop is still dealing more damage, but it looks like it will finally get cleaned up.
Yeah, it was a very important unit for RoRrO because those were the only units able to do a counterattack. But at least he traded a lot of supply, and now he's starting to add up Liberators into this. So there's also a lot of Ghost. So he's got the ultimate army, and see, he's got also a lot of bank. So this is starting to look very well for RoRrO. He's got better macro than Science right now, although Science had control of the map a lot more than RoRrO. And I'm amazed. And now the counterattack comes in, and perhaps a base trade?
Oh my god, yeah, it looks like we do see a base trade. RoRrO, he does not turn around. He commits to this attack, already hitting the third base of Xion's. Meanwhile, Xion's, he has to work through all these CCs, work through the planetaries, and if he ever needs to, he could always recall.
Yeah, and even the
Liberator...
Oh my god, those were such good disruptor shots. Is this Maru?
Oh god.
Do you remember the game where Maru lost to Shaun? He lost to Shaun because of the disruptors. It felt the same. Oh, it's so hurtful. It's so hurtful to
exactly.
watch.
And what's worrisome to me is that, mate, one of the disruptors is still alive. Like, again, it's going to have another shot ready and waiting if RoRrO allows it to, and it will. He's waiting. He's buying his time. Meanwhile, Xion's, he's wreaking havoc. He's taking down more of these planetaries. Oh god, this is gonna be close. The armies may be forced to fight.
The disruptors killed their own zealots, but they got a planetary fortress. So for the Protoss mine, I think it's worth. But the interesting thing is that now RoRrO knows where the other base is because he was able to scout it with his own command center, which is a little bizarre, but the information is there, you know. If RoRrO is able to get into a good position, he's able to save the Raven. Those CTs and that army can be easily killed. But,
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
He
sieges up. The Liberators are exposed. So here comes the army of Xion's. He's gonna want to try and sandwich the army of RoRrO. Can he do it? Can he push up the ramp?
Oh my god! And the Colossus are getting killed by the tanks. Nice DPS from RoRrO. He's starting to get the army advantage. Oh my god! This game is such a nice comeback from RoRrO. He was losing. Science having control of all over the map. And now he's taking the advantage. He's killing all the Protoss production. He still has scans available. He still has the Raven to detect the DTs. So it's a lot of trouble for Xion.
Yeah, like Xion's, I feel like he had maybe arguably the superior army, but pushing up a ramp into tanks and Liberators, like, that was not the right play. He had to wait. At some point, RoRrO had to leave the main. At some point, he would have to go down the ramp, but unfortunately, Xion's, he was a little bit impatient, pulled the trigger a little bit too soon, and now, mate, look at this massive army at home. Oh god.
No way! Oh my god, this is so abusive. Look! Nice split from RoRrO. He's got a very good micro, and with this, he makes the killer move. He kills with the dagger. He's the beast. Nicely played from the Terran player.
GG, well played. Congratulations, RoRrO. A very hard fought battle there in round number 1 of the entire tournament. He takes down the best Protoss player in Peru. He takes down XionS.
Yeah, it was such a good comeback. He was patient. He knew that if he played a macro game, there would be a chance. Perhaps if XionS makes macro mistakes, there can always be a chance. And he took the chance and he won the game. He lost so many tanks, so many bunkers, so many marines, and he still won the game. That was so impressive.
Oh god, it was amazing to see. It was also like something that I didn't really get to bring up because he didn't get it up and running yet, but he was also playing so dirtily. He had towards the south, if you saw, he had a planetary setup. He was setting up 2 more planetaries as well towards the north. Like he was just setting up at home the wall, the Great Wall of Mexico made, and oh god, then the base trade happened. And what was impressive is that RoRrO, he had a cool and calm, collected mind because he kept macroing at home, right? He wasn't panicking too much. We saw how massive his army had grown in his main base and how dominant he was when he finally pushed out.
Yeah, I think the mistake from XionS, first, he did a macro. He took so long to take the 4th base, and once he took it, he didn't saturate it, and he let the other mistake is that he didn't have many observers on the map. He didn't have pylons, and this is what you said before on the first series that we cast. Evernest had so many pylons on the map. He had such a nice map control, and XionS did not. And because of it, every time he attacked, he used his entire army because he didn't have the information to see where are the drops. Is there any counterattack? Can I split my army this way or the other way in order to make a better defensive strategy? It just did not happen because he did not have the information. So it was a very bad mistake from XionS. Those were the 2 key mistakes that led RoRrO into this very beautiful comeback.
Exactly. It all just kind of, it was all coming off RoRrO there towards the end. Oh god, it was a very intense game. It's always great whenever we do get games on Beckett. They could let's bring everyone back a little bit, because that game started with like a bunker contain or bunker rush sort of thing, if you recall, and then he was sending like tanks across the map. It was such a weird start, but then it turned into such a beautiful macro game. It's great. It's Latin America in a nutshell.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better. Latin America in a nutshell. He lost so many tanks, but there was a moment in which XionS got confident and he was like, I already win, so I'm just gonna push my immortals and try to go across the map and kill everything. And he lost like 2 or 3, I think he lost 2 immortals there, and he gave RoRrO once again the chance to maybe push the natural base, but then he was able to defend it. It was so back and forward once again, and oh my god, it was just intense.
It was, and thankfully we were able to catch the tail end of that series. Unfortunately, we weren't there for the beginning. Again, they were my first pick, but they were a little bit late when the tournament started. Regardless, we were able to start with White Asia versus Evernest, which was still a beautiful series in and of itself. And now we are following RoRrO into his next series. He's in the next round, and he is going up against the best Zerg player in Peru after the best Protoss. He's going up against Ryu.